Hello and welcome to part 4 of my Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber project, and today we're going to be experimenting with this aluminum black. You can actually use this, from what I understand, on steel as well to darken it. So I figured I'm going to start with the booster part, which is steel and not aluminum, and just see how this stuff works. Now, the directions say to use a swab to put it on, leave it on for a minute, and then rinse it off with cold water. So I've got some, it's like an old pair of pajama pants that I've cut up, and I'm going to use this to blot this stuff on. Just going to try pouring a little bit on there, let's see what happens. Yeah, okay. Yeah, wow, that really made a difference. You know what? Screw that cloth. I think that's holding me back. I think it's soaking up too much of the juice. I want to get this all in there. Wow, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to try putting this in a glass. Pouring some of this juice down in there and swishing it around. Try a plastic one as opposed to a glass one. This is kind of messy. It's getting all gross looking and dark. Alright, let's try rinsing this off. So there's this sort of brownish residue that I'm kind of wiping off. So here's kind of what we've got so far. It's definitely darker, kind of splotchier, which I like, but I want to see if I can get it even darker. Try another round of the aluminum black here on the booster, and the method that seemed to work best was just putting this down in a cup with a little bit in there and just kind of swishing it around. Rinse this off, and then dry it off. So you can see there's some gross brownish tan stuff down in there between the fins. I gotta wipe that out with the cloth here. So here's what we've got after 2 treatments of the aluminum black. I think I might do one more. Alright, here we go for treatment number 3. So this is after 3 treatments of the aluminum black. So I've been doing this, and it seems like this is kind of working to do some spot treatments. I still have this sort of used aluminum black in here, and I'm just taking this Q-tip, dipping it down in there, and any part that I see I kind of want to get darker, I just kind of dab it on there, swish it around, then I just dry it off immediately with this paper towel, and it really seems to make a difference. Alright, so for comparison's sake, here's the booster and the grenade, and they were both pretty much the same color to start with. You can see this one's definitely a lot more busted up looking, but I'm going to start working on the grenade portion next. Try to lay the cup a little bit flat if I can. Alright, so there's after one treatment. You can see in some places it didn't quite really stick. In other places it did. So I'm going to just do a little bit more. I think I'm going to try dabbing some stuff on with the Q-tip like I did with the booster and see how that works. Alright, so this is what I've got after kind of letting it sit for a while. It's sort of got some rusty junk down in there. I don't want that much, so I've started here down at the end, and I've gone around with some steel wool, gone down into cracks, and gotten a lot of it out. And so I'm just going to work my way up, try to knock some of that out. But, dude, look at that! It's really coming together. So that's what I've got after knocking out a lot of that rust and stuff down in there. I left a little bit, and it's almost impossible to get rid of all of it, but man, I am pleased with that. I don't know, I might try to go a little bit darker, I don't know. Interesting. So there, yeah. It's a little bit better, but there's still some of this white junk. Let's see. Can I wipe that off? Yeah, okay. Seems to be coming off. Whenever I apply heat to this thing, this white junk pops up. I might want to try to get down in those cracks a little bit more. So I'm just going to dip the Q-tip right in. Alright, so let me recap what I did with the grenade here. My camera battery died, so I had to stop and charge that up. But I wanted to continue working. But what I did is I took the Q-tip and I dipped it directly into the aluminum black and applied it to the areas of the grenade I wanted to darken. And then I rinsed it off with cold water in the sink. I really rinsed the heck out of it. And then I took the hairdryer and alternated between the warm and the cold. It's got a cool air setting on it. And, you know, to get this really dry, I didn't have any of that white stuff show up, so I'm thinking that's must be the aluminum black if you don't rinse that off all the way. And it looks nice. There's you can see kind of in there, there's still some rust and stuff down in there. I want that. Definitely want a little bit of that. But so that's much more what I was going for. And so now, I'm going to take some steel wool and knock down the rust on the emitter here. I'm going to break this into the pieces here and get working on that. Alright, now I'm going to rinse this with some cool water. Yeah, you can see there I didn't quite rinse that off. I actually had it under the sink like that. So you can see that's definitely the aluminum black stuff. If you don't rinse it off, it turns into that white stuff. So let's go to the next piece now. Rinse this off with the cool water. There's the inside part. Looking pretty dark. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit this up with some steel wool. Alright, so I put some aluminum black right on the Q-tip directly. And I'm applying it just to the ring of holes. Rinse it off. Blast it with the hairdryer. Alright, so here's the Saber reassembled. Now that I've got the balance pipe, the grenade, and the booster sort of weathered here. I might do some additional weathering, I might not. It all depends on how I feel. But I am really digging the way this is coming together. Let's see, there's a view down the emitter there. So tune in next time when I figure out how I'm going to weather the clamp.